Boom.
Morning.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Trade Talk Live. How are y'all doing today? I hope things are going wonderful. I'm Roger Wakefield. Ting Ting, first one in the house. Good morning to you. Hello, everyone.
Morning.
Guys, look, I'm Roger Wakefield. I'm a plumber with 45 years experience and started doing social media here a while back and realized, wow, this is pretty cool. We go live every day. If you're like Ting Ting and you've been here before, hello there, just to say hi. If you're like Ting Ting and you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, then jump in, have fun. We're glad that you're here. We talk about all topics of the trades. We change it up every day, just a little bit. But what we do is we bring you new information. And we do this because I was taught a long time ago, if you will study your industry, your niche, your profession every day for 30 minutes to an hour, you can move up to be in the top 5% of your industry. So we thought, you know what? We can put that together for people. And it's pretty neat. As you see, I'm not here alone. I have this handsome young devil next to me. My son, my reason for what I do. Cool thing about it is he's a pipe fitter, though. He didn't want to be a plumber. He says, there ain't no way. Anyway, Squirt, how are you today?
I'm doing great. I think y'all just threw me into too many dark crawl spaces with spiders that I do not like. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm not doing plumbing. Even though in pipe fitting, man, I still get stuck in some dark holes and crawl spaces. Still, it happens. 20-year pipe fitter by trade. Loved my trade. Got really good at it. My whole family's plumbers, so I love what I get to do now. And now I run LeakPro. And I build the best, the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. And if you're a plumber out there and you're losing out on leak detection jobs, check out the complete kit at our website, leak.pro. That's the reason I build the tools, is to get you plumbers out there finding leaks, doing the repairs yourselves for your customers so that you're not waiting 2 to 6 weeks on some leak detection person. If you don't know how to do it, give me a call, because I also do an in-person training here just outside of Dallas, Texas, where I built a difficult training center to teach you how to pinpoint locate leaks on. So give me a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO. I'd love to talk about the equipment or the training and how it can help you in your business.
And the cool thing is, look, we love what we get to do. We do this because I started doing YouTube 7 years ago, just over 7 years ago. And the cool thing about YouTube is it helped me grow my business. I grew it, I scaled it, I sold it. It worked. It was a great thing. So we decided, hey, look, this thing just keeps going and going and going. We figured out, look, we need to sell the company because we're getting so big on social media that we're able to do more. And it did phenomenal things for my company because I got tired of getting ripped off by marketing companies. So we decided, look, we can teach other trades companies how to do this. So if you are interested in learning how to do what we do, which is YouTube, go to justmattroger.com. And I'm telling you, that can help you make your phone ring. And if you're a trades company already and you want to learn how to grow, I tell people all the time, like, you need to learn more about residential service groups, about best practice groups, things like that. And there's a lot of them out there, but a lot of them just, they want to put you in a box and say, if you do it exactly this way, if you over raise your prices, if you teach your people just a hardcore sell and nothing else, man, you can make a lot of money. You can, but it's not going to be your company anymore. You're going to be running a company that they want you to run, not the one you wanted to build. So if you want to learn more about that, go check out residentialserviceprofessionals.com. It's all about doing things right and automating things to make it where you can actually do less. Again, that's residentialserviceprofessionals.com. Now, to move on from the sponsors, we're moving on to national news. Now, the GSA, low embodied carbon, the LEC, buying rules are hitting federal job specs hard. Guys, look, I'm a lead AP, so I have no sympathy for people here that bitch, moan, and complain and say, man, we don't want to do this green thing. And Randy won't come out and tell you, oh, I want to go green. He doesn't say it that way. He's like, look, I want a net zero building.
That's right.
It's green as you get.
I got to do that by going completely green?
You bet.
Oh, Oh,
Okay, that's
how
what
that
it's going to
works.
take.
Okay.
So we're seeing Division One language that includes thresholds for materials like concrete, steel, glass, even asphalt. These LEC environmental product declarations aren't just informational anymore. They're part of the compliance game. And GCs are pushing requirements downstream to the subs. If you don't understand how to document it or how to pre-qualify your materials, you're going to get behind. I was on a job over in Westlake. It was the first lead project I was on. And there was so much documentation you had to do about what glue, before you could even bring a material on the job. You had to have paperwork on it, low VOCs. It's okay to be on this type project. And man, that's what made me say, wait, I want to learn what all this stuff's all about. Well, let's talk bid math. LEC alternates are showing up in the bid forms. Sometimes it's a fixed allowance. Sometimes it's just a best value item. And if you're pricing normal mixes, but they expect slag or fly ash blends with specific GWP numbers on the concrete, you might be way off. And don't assume a substitution is easy. If your preferred supplier doesn't have the EPD's document, if they don't have everything that says, look, it's just the same, the document a chain of command, custody, and purpose. The functionality equivalent materials with the declared global warming potential, the GWP, because guys, this is all about making the earth a greener place. That can keep you compliant. Schedule risk is a problem because guys, you're going to be one paying liquidated damages if you're not doing these things right. And long lead materials like mixes, structural steel batches, things like that can mess up your CPM. Procurement float is your buffer. Make sure you've got that built into your contract. And once you're on site, your QC checklist needs to match the paperwork. That was my biggest job walking around. Wait, who brought that product on here? Oh, I had it in my tool bag. You can leave because they were warm before they come in. You do not bring any chemicals onto the job site. That could have cost us a fortune. Yep. Batch tickets tied to your EPD lights, placement logs, documentation inspections. They want it all. And if you're a small sub, make sure you're teaming up with somebody that understands that. We had subcontractors that literally I could go talk to them and just say, hey, look, before y'all bring anything on the job, I need to know what you're going to bring in. If you're placing an order, send it to me. Let me just look through it and say, hey, that'll work, that won't work, whatever it is. But guys, at the end of the day, it comes to knowing what you can and cannot bring on the job and documenting it properly.
I had a superintendent one time. I called him. I said, hey, I need you to pick me up some super glue while you're out. What do you need this for? I said, don't ask me no questions like that. Just pick me up a tube of super glue while you're out. And he says, you got the data sheet for that? No, so don't bring it on the job. Just keep it out in the parking lot for me.
and look, I get that.
That's it. It happens because now super glue, I used to keep that around in my toolbox most of the time already anyway, but I didn't have any, needed some. But he was completely.
Is that how you tacked
right
up welds with super glue?
Yeah, super glue. That's the easiest way to line it up. Perfect. A little bit of super glue to hold one corner for you while you check with the other side. Secret fitter trick. Yeah, right. I wish. That would be nice.
All right, Scott, bottom line.
Man, bottom line, okay.
This is one you know all about.
Scope creep. And guys, this can be death by 1,000 cuts if you don't notice it and catch it early. The best defense of it is a 2-tier cost code structure. Okay? You actually want to break it down by system and the task. Okay? Don't just lump everything. Electrical labor. It's not good.
Now, this is funny because I've been on job sites where we had 200 labor codes. Mm-hmm. I've been on multi-story buildings. Each system had its own code.
Yep.
Chill water, heating water, plumbing, piping, water, hot water, cold water, return water. And then if you're on a 20-story building, well, there's 20 different floors for each one of those codes. Mm-hmm. Then maybe a different room number. How far are we breaking it down? Are we breaking it down to the north half of the building, the south half, mains and branches? You can break it down, but it's so much easier to track once you go through and do that.
That's it. That's it. And that's the key, is being able to actually track what happened. So instead of electrical labor, electrical, rough, a device name, however you want to do it, or electrical, so trimming the panel, break down the systems and the processes, how they're actually doing. Is it just they're doing valve tags now? It's the very end of the job. That should have its own code for valve tags to go through all the systems. Now, that's the problem I like to do with valve tags, is lump them all together from all the systems, because you don't want them going to do one system at a time. You want them to do them all while they're in the same spot, so that all the tags
We used to have a label cart
together. Yes.
You bet.
I've been very involved in those carts. But also, that you do all these things, that way you know where your labor burn is drifting to. Okay? In your POs, in your scope of works, you need to define what done looks like, add measurable acceptance criteria, like all outlets installed, terminated, and labeled. Now that's actually complete. No more gray in there. Or are you leaving the label off of that part and labels its own spot that you're tracking by itself? How do you want to do it at your company? But combine that with your daily percent complete tracking, and you can compare that to the planned hours. And this helps you backtrack all the way to the estimate. And if a task goes 10% over before it's even 30% done, freeze it. Snap the photos. Log a Delta ticket so that you can start to track this thing and know what's going on. Why are you losing? What happened? What's the difference between the estimate and what's really going on the job? Because sometimes it's as simple as the estimator didn't understand that type of piping. Oh, there's a couple extra processes for that material. I didn't realize that. It changes your labor factors. You want to be able to know that as early as you possibly can, so that we can prefab a lot of that in the shop to save man hours as much as possible to prevent the bleeding as much as we can. But guys, that's your trigger for a change order. Hey, look, this is different than what we actually bid, what we included in our estimate, because maybe you didn't call out that material. But at the end of the week, 15-minute huddles between PMs and the foreman make the difference. Okay.
Randy, one thing about this, you don't get to wait till the end of the job and walk in with a notebook and say, hey, here's all the change orders we got. We made another $1 million on the job. The superintendent's going to look at you like you're nuts. He's like, well, wait, why didn't we talk about this as we were going? And literally, when you've got a problem, now I'm not telling you if you're 10% over on your hours in an area and you're only 30% done, y'all messed up, not the general contractor.
Yep.
There's not a lot of change order space there. Oh, we need more money. Y'all said y'all could do this. Well, I know the office said we could, but we haven't got it done. That's a scary thought.
Yeah.
I want to jump in the comments real quick. Ting Ting says, I am number 165 on the list at Local 31 in Houston, hoping that's an okay number. 165 out of 5,000 or out of 166? It depends on how soon y'all get busy.
I think whenever I was trying to join The Apprentice, I was number 51 on the list at Local 100, and I think it was like 3 months, and I got that call. Like, it didn't take long. And it just kind of depends on how quick people are moving in the area and stuff like that, too. So,
Ting Ting says, squirt.
How's it going?
Absolutely. Helping Hands Handyman says, good morning, fellas. How are you today? Good to see you. Good morning to you. Helping Hand Handyman Services says, plumber and HVAC technician by trade. This definitely the future going forward. Amen. Especially here in California, net zero energy for every structure is a big order to fill, but it's doable. Yeah, we're aware of that. Solar powered shingles sounds like a good job in the near future in California. And I'm telling you what, Ting Ting, those are good all everywhere, not just in California. Matt Miyagi, or Matt McDonough, sorry about that, says, Mr. Miyagi at Plumbing and Square, you're awesome. Got to be a hero. Go LeakPro. Love you. Bye. Brother, thanks for jumping in and jumping out.
Have a good day.
Have a great day. All right, safety. Now, noise exposure is one of those things that, man, we don't think about. But it can be a silent killer. Okay? we got tools to map the risk and win. Okay. There's tools out there that you can actually use that will test the noises around you. Deploy clip-on
My watch
dosimeters.
tells me now.
Tells you you're
Tells me
too
whenever
loud.
I'm in a noisy area. Like I've noticed it more dealing with
Me.
the property here. No, when I fire up a weed eater or something, even something I was like spraying something off with an air compressor the other day or something, and it was telling me, "Hey, it's getting loud," and I'm like, "Holy cow! Oh, this is great!" Because
That's pretty cool.
most of the
That'd have
time,
been great out in the field.
I don't know. Yeah, like it's just like, and that's why I thought this was great because you can just clip on device that lets you know.
I bet the union hates that. Because now guys wearing Apple Watches are going to be saying, hey, y'all, we need to do something about this.
Yep.
We're going to sit down. We're going to go out in the truck and wait until
need
y'all
some
get this noise
earplugs.
level fixed.
Yep.
The clip-on dosimeters, though, on rotating crews for a week, you'll find out who's working in loud areas. You'll get a clear picture of what tasks spike the dBAs, the decibels. Is it demos? Is it core drilling? Is it the impact tools you're using?
All of it.
I used to be around them guys that used to shoot the metal studs down with the little 22 shells.
I used to love getting hold of those.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
We'd have to use them occasionally to put some fasteners in. Like it happens.
Don't you believe that?
It happens.
Okay. Once you figure out where the loud ones are, you swap them out.
Yep.
Switch to quieter tools. Okay. Battery-powered nailers in office spaces. SDS, max with anti-vibrating handles. Vacuum shrouds on your coring rigs. Don't rely on PPE first. Go with engineering controls. Acoustic blankets in hallways. Man, it's like those elevators. You see the acoustical blankets, the protection blanket, stuff like that.
When y'all are jibber jabbering, riding up and down.
And sometimes you move those noisy tasks to after hours.
Yeah.
Fit test your earplugs and muffs. I used to work at a company that literally they did a mold of your ear and you got fitted earplugs.
Oh, wow.
It was great.
I like that. Or just learning that, do this when you're actually putting in a normal ear. There is
Tilt your head and pull it
proper way to insert an earplug, guys.
And then
use the right way.
When you're wearing muffs, don't just say that they work. Show the crew the real-time impact on the app. Supervisors should ask 3 questions at the JHA every day. How loud is it going to be? How long is the task? And what is our barrier plan? How many tasks are under 85 decibels over an 8-hour shift? And are radios still usable in noisy work areas? If not, you got to come up with something else because you still got to be able to communicate with people. All right, let's jump into the question right here. Ocean Biscuit's got a few of them there. Says, hi, been watching your channel and really appreciate the content. 31, currently in tech sales in Silicon Valley. I earn well and live below my means, but I expect my role will be replaced by AI within 5 years. Planning on a career change into the trades, and I'm saving so I can be comfortable while I train and work my way up. I love that. Long-term goal is to master a trade and eventually own my own business. Nice. Local IBEW is interviewing for residential and industrial positions. Industrial pays a bit less. I'd want to learn residential anyway if that's what you want to start your own business doing. But I'm wondering whether residential experience will be more useful if I want to grow a small business. Yes.
Definitely.
I appreciate what you do. Your channel helped me find direction after feeling lost, work at a desk. Sorry for all the messages. YouTube won't let me write out the full message at once. I get it. Yeah, we train it that way. Not really. Go check out residentialserviceprofessionals.com. I think you'll find some stuff over there that'll help you if that's your long-term goal. New construction. Modular student housing is booming, and the big winner is prefab. Not just prefab MEP. Yeah. This is like a factory. Built wet walls, or full electrical risers, all craned into place. But to win, you've got to coordinate in BIM. In BIM, every connection point needs to be dialed in. No more field surgery to make things fit and stuff like that. This helps you connect lines that should have lined up. The schedule is compressed when you stack modules, but only if you got the right crews. One for set, one for finish, one to build out, one to put in place, and one to trim it out. Before the walls close up, inspectors want to see proof Is everything tied in? Is it tested? Is it secure? Leveling shims, riser joints, hydro tests, IR scans, everything has to be done. And it's all got to be captured before the chase or walls are closed. Fire stop kits should be pre-cut and labeled by unit stack. Don't make the AHJ look for them. Have them there. It's part of it. And then commissioning should happen by stack too. Barcode each riser for your warranty, and you're done right the first time. And this is one of those deals that, guys, you want to walk through and you want to say, hey, look, it's done. It's complete. Nobody has to walk in here. You can literally, once you got that done, shut and lock the door. Nobody comes in until it's time to clean it up and turn it over.
Man, I had a boss one time. We had a bunch of spools. It was all flanged together. It was this exhaust thing. It was some 12-inch stainless. Big heavy stuff. He's like, oh, yeah, we're going to go out here. We're going to bolt all this together. We're going to get a hold of the crane. Make sure that we figure out how much higher the crane is above the building so we know how many pieces we can put together. We're going to fly it down this riser. I said, boss, why don't you just fly it to this floor and let me just drag every riser up instead of doing it that way? Why? I said, because this floor, it's a high enough span. I can stand these up, no problem. And I can just drag it all up with a chain fall. I don't need a crane. I don't need nothing.
Lift, bolt it up,
I can sit
pull
here
the next
and
one.
crank through this real quick, and we can knock out the whole thing in a day, and I don't have to schedule or do anything. He's like, oh my gosh, that's a genius way to do it. Let's fly it to that roof and y'all can just roll it in. I said, exactly. It's cakewalk. Let's do it that way instead of the way you want to do it, because I don't want to bolt all that together and then try to lift it that way. I just really don't want to strain the bolts like that.
You know, I got paid for almost a full day that I didn't have to work. Working in the Kilby Center.
Yep.
We had done a big major shutdown, had most of my crews over on one job, and I was over in the Kilby Center doing a job with me and an apprentice. And an RV Tate comes walking around and looks up and says, what are you doing? So I'm getting all this laid out, fixing to lift it up. I said, but I got to go get some help. He said, Roger, you're going to have to shut down all these lines and take them down. I said, no, I'm not. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, I know how PDF bends.
Yep.
He said, what do you mean? I said, I know how this bends.
And, yeah.
I said, it's got quite a bit of bow to it. I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin it around. I'm going to make a horseshoe. I'm going to feed it up this way, then pull it back here. And then when another line straightens it back out, I can do that. And he looked at me, and this is like 10 o'clock in the morning. We're supposed to go till about 8 o'clock that night. It's like a 12-hour shutdown. He said, you really think this will work? I said, absolutely. He said, I'll tell you what, if this works, you and your apprentice go home. I said, okay. I said, do you want to help me? You want me to go get somebody? He said, no, I want to help. He literally got up in a lift. Yeah. Went up one side, I went up the other, and I'm telling it, Tate, push it this way, do this, do this. Once it straightened out, he just looked at me and he's like, you think completely outside the box. I said, man, I always have.
And you don't know how much labor that would have saved him in the past already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go home and enjoy the day off, guys. That's it.
And he knew that. And he's like, look, if Roger does this today, he's going to do it somewhere again tomorrow, somewhere again the next day. Yeah, that was good, because that was a Sunday, so it was nice.
Yeah.
Just saying. All right, mindset growth. Let's talk about a 5-minute habit that'll change your team culture. At the end of the shift, an after-action review. 3 simple questions. What went right? What slowed us down? What will we change tomorrow? Guys, this is fantastic. If you can capture this in notes or photos or anything like that, don't wait for the project manager to ask. Assign owners before 7 a.m. the next day. I call them champions. Okay? Hey, you're in charge of this. Make sure we don't have this problem again. Keep it blameless. It's not anybody's fault. We're not pointing fingers. We're building systems that improve every day. When you roll this up weekly, okay, and you make this as something, look, we do every day. Hey, what went right? What slowed us down? What are we going to do different tomorrow? The project managers will start to see trends. Missing access, info delays, wrong materials. You document every single thing, and you feed that into the constraint board, and we talk about those a lot. And guess what? Schedules start getting hit more often. The project managers, the general superintendents, everybody's happier. And this is a habit for recognition. People get recognized when they start speeding things up. Crews that log daily after action reports consistently, they outperform because you document this. What did we talk about today that we need to fix tomorrow? Now at the morning huddle, hey, remember, Squirt, you're going to get an extra scissor lift up here today. That way you're not working one-handed. Celebrate the small wins and you'll start building momentum that lasts.
And I love this, but also don't wait till the last 5 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Well,
Because everybody's just, nothing went wrong by.
That's it. Like something I would do, like honestly, if I had a big mistake that was a major setback, 8 hours lost because we had to cut apart a weld and re-weld it on 24-inch pipe. That's an 8-hour loss, period. Plus, because really it's 3 guys, so that's a 24-hour loss. But when you hit those, you stop, you learn, you figure out what mistake was actually made, and then you let everybody know that's working on something similar. Guys, don't make this mistake. This is the lesson I learned today. It bit me hard. We're going to overcome it. It's going to be fine. We can do it. We know. But don't let this happen again, because repeat issues, those are where your major problems are in the company. You've got to fix them and address them so that everybody learns not to keep making those mistakes, so we get better a little every single day.
Guys, cool thing is, we're going to talk about sponsors here because if you're growing a business, if you're starting a business, my first coach, Michael Gerber, says, look, we never teach people how to grow businesses, how to run businesses, how to even start businesses. I've been in best practice groups. I've grown, scaled, and sold a plumbing company. I've started multiple other businesses, sometimes way too many. Some of them don't work. But the ones that work are the ones where I learned to do things the right way. Best practice groups teach you that. But a lot of them, they want to handcuff you in and say, you have to do it this way. If you don't do this exactly like we say, it'll never work. And you know what? Doing it their way takes the fun out of it. You don't get to run your company anymore. You've got to run their company. And chances are you started a company because you wanted to run it the way you wanted to run it. You wanted to do things your way. You're just not doing things where you're profitable. Residential Service Professionals is putting things in place to help you run it professional, but also teach you how to make money. If you want to learn more about it, go to residentialserviceprofessionals.com. And we'll be doing another business intensive in November.
That's it. November 7th.
I believe so.
And everybody, we'd also like to thank LeakPro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks, where we build the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. And when I say system, there's a couple different devices we build. So I always suggest the complete kit. It's the business in a box. You can find that on our website, leak.pro. But everything that comes in it comes with your universal adapter to be able to hook an air compressor up anywhere to the plumbing system. A remote controlled outlet, so you are a one-man operation, because we love to use air to verify that pinpoint location. The couple different pieces of equipment that come in it, you get the probe, which is T-handle style, stainless steel rod on it. It's made out of a solid block of aluminum. This is real durable. This is what we prefer for that meter to the home service, irrigation lines, anything like that. It's great for probing in and out of the ground. If you run into rock, it's not just going to bend your rod. But then we also have the Sidekick, and it has a softer rod. It's aluminum, so it will bend. You don't want to stick that one in the ground. But that aluminum rod, since it's a softer metal, it enhances the sound more. And that's what we love when you step into a house, listening in there anywhere, through slabs, through driveways, sidewalks, anything like that. The Sidekick, it eliminates that layer of concrete you're listening through. So check out the complete kit at our website, leak.pro. And if you're not familiar with how to do leak detection, you want to get you or your guys trained up on how to do it, send them to me here just outside of Dallas, Texas. I offer a 2-day in-person training, or we'll run through 30 to 50 leak detections. I'll go through, we'll do line locating under the slab, pinpoint locations under the slab for leaks, outside of the slab also. But then I have a couple sewer systems set up, one cast iron and one plastic, where we'll run through from that double clean out outside. You can actually determine exactly where a sewer system's leaking for your customers. So you don't have to go, oh, I got to replace the whole sewer system. Let's find out if we really do. I'll teach you exactly how to do that. So give me a call about the training at 1-8888-LeakPro. Be happy to discuss it with you and how we can teach you how to use it.
And if you're the owner of the company and you want to learn how to market it and get found for it in your area, we can talk to you about that too. Because you don't have to be the number one leak detection company in the world. You just got to be the number one in your area. And that's pretty easy to do. And guys, we started doing all this because we started doing YouTube just over 7 years ago. And now we get to teach people and talk to people all the time. If you want to learn more about doing YouTube and how you can grow your business, grow your brand, get found. Whenever I found out YouTube was the second largest search engine in the world and it was owned by Google, the largest search engine in the world, I realized, wow, you know what? We should probably be there. So I figured out how to do it. Now, I've spent a fortune in training, but now I've started teaching people how to do it. And it all starts with a free webinar. If you want to learn a little bit about how to do YouTube, go to justmattroger.com and check it out. And after you do, come back in here and let me know what you think about it. And Ting Ting says elevators are going to be modular in the next 20 years. Oh, they're going to be more than modular in the next 20 years. They're going to be able to roll them out on like a 40, 50 foot trailer, pick it up and drop it right down the shaft and bolt it up, and then add the next one right on top of it. I've already seen it done.
Yeah, I hope they pour the concrete perfect for that for y'all, because that's the major thing I always see the elevators guys doing is fixing the concrete issues.
Yep. All right, we're going to roll into all trades. Standardized pre-task plans save time, but only if they include other trades.
Yep.
Use a one-page form. What's the task? What other trades are impacted? What's the access path? Is there any dust, any noise created, anything that's going to bother anybody else? Is there a shutdown window? Color-coded floor plans should show the day's hot zones and get posted at the gang box in your morning huddle. And then do a 60-second neighborly check. Hey, we're going to be doing a shutdown over here. I used to do that like the morning of. If we were working in an area and out at the airport, we'd have to rope off areas where there's big holes in the floor. And it'd be like, hey, look, we're going to be rolling pipe in, so we're going to rope off 3/4 of the floor. And they'd be like, man, you can't do that. It's like, we don't have any choice. See where the material's stored, see where we got to get it. We can't be fighting people. So this keeps crews from overlapping, clashing on shutdowns, or creating unsafe congestion. Sometimes it's smart to just tell everybody the day before, hey, y'all aren't even going to be able to work up here tomorrow. Look at the calendar. It's been there for weeks. It's been there for months. Track metrics like your end-day relocations or task conflicts. What went good? What went bad? What did we not do that we should have done? Who did we not tell that we should have told? Should we have told the pipe fitters? Maybe. And if your time's dropping, you're saving labor. And that can help you save the schedule. Guys, looking at this stuff in advance and figuring out, look, what all are we really going to need to get this done? Who's going to be impacted? And if you get the other trades involved, if you're at least nice enough to go talk to them, they might be able to say, hey, look, you know what? We got 3 rooms over here that we can move our guys to. We'll be fine.
It doesn't all have to be scheduled and planned in the job trailer. There's sometimes it happens to us in the field. It's like, hey, boss said I got to be in here. You know what? I'll tell you what. I'm going to let you in there today. I'm going to jump over here. I've got a couple things in this other room that I can work on. It's no big deal. How long do you really need in there? Oh, man, 1.5 days. Okay, cool. I can buy you that time. It doesn't all have to be done in the GC's trailer in front of everybody. Oh, Bob's got this room. No. Bob supposedly has that room, but he gave it to somebody else for a couple days. Mm-hmm. It's fine. We know what's going on. Everything's fine for schedule. And sometimes that's just shaking out in the field, and it works well. I love bringing in the other crews that are in the areas. We used to do a jump and bump, our 5 minutes to power, with electricians and stuff from a completely different company. And then we would break off for the safety talks after discussing who was working where. Then it was by trades, and that worked really well.
That's not a good one. All right, laws and licenses. Today we're covering lien law deadlines in 5 southern states. And we'll get through this one pretty quick. But have a quick view matrix. When is your preliminary notice due? What's the monthly notice window? How long do you have to file a lien? Does it change for owner occupied versus commercial? The answer is yes. And don't get caught thinking payment from a GC means you're safe. If the owner doesn't pay, you're still exposed. And automate your notice process. Send it by certified mail or a digital portal and store that receipt with your job file. Mistakes that kill your claim: wrong legal entity, incorrect property description, or misreported last work date. Avoid all these. PMs need a simple script to explain this to the client. Keep it professional, but set the expectations early. And guys, if you'll do this, it helps you. And there should have been a time that I filed a lien one time. I literally did a $10,000 job and kept waiting on them because, like, man, look, we're trying to get it leased. And I was being nice. Trying to get it leased. We're trying to do this. We're trying to do this. And Frank and Susan, or the people here in Dallas, if you know them, they suck. But what happened is, literally, I went to meet her to collect, and she sat down. She says, "We're just not going to pay you."
Yep.
I said, "What do you mean?" And I'm wanting to kill her because I thought I was going here to pick up 10 grand. Like, yeah, we've decided that we're going to keep that house, so we're investing in it, but we've already invested all the cash we can. So we're not going to be making money on it anytime soon. Because when they told me it was a flip.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Fast homes, FASTT homes, don't do business with them. They're scams. Just flat out honest.
That's it. And as an owner, when it's time to put out a lien, put out a lien.
Yeah. And I didn't. I was trying to be nice.
That's it. And I love that. I try to be nice a lot in business. And then my business hat takes over and goes, hey, it's a business. Do it right. It doesn't matter. Don't let any excuse work. Because business doesn't really take excuses, is what I've learned in life. So, yeah, definitely so.
All right, Squirt. Business training.
Man, okay. So, let's clean up your job cost codes. I know we kind of talked about this a little earlier, because first, archive the zombie codes, okay? The ones that you haven't used in 6 months on any job ever. Get rid of those codes. We don't need to follow those or track those anymore. Obviously, they don't mean a thing to us. Build codes that you can actually track. And superintendents, I know, or whoever's doing time, I know it takes so much extra to actually track who was working exactly where for how long. But the better that you can track every single man on that job for every hour that they actually work,
The better superintendent you are.
the better superintendent that you are, or that you can become. Because the more that you're learning from those estimates, and this is what this feeds back to, is being able to track back to the estimate and feed everything back in. But you get to map that estimate line to every single field code there. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 1, so that you know what actually happens versus the estimates. That makes you the best you can possibly be. But you want to force tags like these locations or the system into an every hour entry. I used to have to track all this on my jobs, just running them. And it was like, guys, don't just tell me they worked in that area. No, what were they working on?
Right.
Because my codes are set up by system and area. I don't have it broke down to mains or drops yet because I wasn't tracking that far. These are in the early stages. But it was enough to know where we were losing and where we weren't. The east wings, what level, north, south, east, west. You can use a lot of different things. Rooftop RTUs by the actual number, the rooftop unit and the system. I love doing all that. Get rid of your generic installs or fixture setting. Okay, fixture setting. Well, what kind of fixtures are they setting? Are they setting toilets in the bathroom on the 8th floor, or are they setting a couple lavatories on the 1st floor? That labor's going to track different. Guaranteed. It takes longer to get to that 8th floor to actually do that work. But train your foreman to enter hours the same day. Because if you're not doing it at the end of the day, you are going to lose track. And then also flag partial completions, things that aren't complete. We still got to come back to this, whatever. So that it's on your mind. Don't let that half-finished work hide. And this is what happens. Oh, Bob worked on it. Well, then he got stuck on this. Nobody ever finished that line. Nobody ever went back to it, guys. What happened? Oh, Bob got pulled to put on this.
And that happens.
It happens all the time. And that's why we bring this up. Don't let it hide. Make sure that you have something to trigger your mind. That's still got to happen. Then every Friday, do that major review. Okay. Freeze any of the low value ads that you've got. Push your change orders. And then resequence the labor to hit your major milestones. I know this can be a very simple cleanup, guys, but it will give you so much insight on what's really happening between that estimate and the actual job so that you can improve more and more every single job you get done that you get to learn from by actually doing this.
And guys, getting focused and being very clear about, I mean, look, if you're the foreman, you know where your people are. Carry a notebook around. Hey, Squirt worked on the chill water 14-inch line on level 1. Chill water supply, chill water return. Track them independently or track them together. Normally they're being installed together. I get it.
Yep.
He's working on both. Okay, then lump it all together.
Split the time. That's it.
And that way you can say, hey, I know it's less to install the 10-inch than it is the 14-inch. Okay, lump it all together. He's working on both of them. At least then you're documenting what he's working on and where it is. And you can even break it down by level 1, by, column line 1 to 14. Figure out where you made your money.
The PMs don't mind creating extra cost codes if you're really trying to check your job like that. They're like, oh, yeah, how many more codes do you want? Which ones would you like? Let me get that done for you. They're happy to do it.
Yeah, it helps. Squirt, vehicles.
Let's save some backs on vehicles. And this is one of the majors. I loved a lot of the things that were coming out as I was coming out of the field, kind of. But upfit ergonomics actually matter. Okay. And you need to think about this with what y'all lift, what you do at your company, what your industry is, things like this. But if you've got to carry a bunch of ladders, then you really do need a good ladder rack that'll lift. Okay, if it's a lot, they make them now where you just pull this bar, you do this, and it brings the ladder down right here to where you can get it. It's not pulling it down off the top of the truck or anything like that. But they lift with less than 35 pounds of force. It's going to bring that ladder up on the top. Doesn't take you a lot of energy.
And I like this too.
Strains.
Using the curbside access, if you have that as your policy, y'all have seen them. The deal, you unhook it, you bend it out, you fold it down, the ladder literally pops up off the truck and comes down almost halfway down the side.
Yes.
Now you just grab it and pull it off. And if you're curbside, you're 6 inches higher, you're not out in the street still trying to lift it from up here.
Yep. That's it. And this is going to matter on which direction they park, stuff like that. But they know that. They know what they're going to the job to do. They know what the call is at least. And hey, if not, guess what? Go out there and turn your van around so that you can get that ladder off. It's okay.
But the vans they install them right. They're on the passenger side anyway, because that's up against the curb.
That should be against your curb.
Pointing the right direction.
That's it. But you really want that curbside, especially when you're on major roadways. If it's a busy area, you don't want your guys having to go on that busy side to access the van. And if it's a van, that's it. You're full access to the van pretty much is that passenger side. Mm-hmm. Okay. And inside the van itself, go with a lot of drawer systems that actually extend fully and can be organized by your task. Okay. You're a plumber, so all my toilet stuff needs to be at the very back. Why? Because most of the calls I go on, it's about a toilet. I might have to rebuild it. Have those things done. Flush, rough in, reset, etc. If you've got somebody that hauls a lot of heavy stuff, heavy equipment, I got involved in that a lot, you may want to install some lift gates. If they got a tote around a welding machine that's on wheels that they can wheel through a building, they need a lift gate. Okay, for water heaters, condensers, things like that. may want to get them a lift gate. Set a policy. No lift over 75 pounds without an assistant. Most places say 50.
And
Okay.
there are some tools out there that'll do it for you. I saw Marianne, the lady plumber. I saw her do a deal where she was bringing a ladder upstairs. She had a lift that literally did it. It's like, man, this is pretty cool.
That's it. Also, a good thing to put in some anti-rattle mounts to protect your diagnostic gear, because a lot of things in there, if it rattles around too much, it gets banged, it gets tore up. It's not going to work when you pull it out and need it. Run some cable raceways cleanly for inverters and stuff. Have
If
a
you've
nice
got the power
charging
in there, you
station.
bet.
That's it. Like, build you a spot. And don't forget to spec reflective chevrons, dash cams, and emergency wash kits. Reverse camera, very important if they don't have them. But major here, guys, all of this, it's going to lead to fewer injuries and less downtime. And that's what we're really trying to prevent, is we want to keep our guys on the job doing their work, not down and out because they picked up something too heavy and tried to load it up.
And, you know, it's really funny because one of my favorite things too is the camera rearview mirror.
Yes.
I think those are the greatest thing, because if you've got that headache rack, that protector in your van, the divider to keep things from sliding up and hitting you in the back of the head while you're driving down the road, it's a good thing to have. But a lot of times you lose your rearview mirror. And I do. The first time I saw one was in a Cadillac Escalade. And I'm looking at that rearview mirror. I'm like, man, that looks like a camera. It is. Sorry, I got itch. So today's social media spotlight, Pacific Arc TIG welding. And if you want to see pristine TIG welds on pipe and fab work, this is the page. They do ultra clean stainless steel work, cup walking in slow motion, and great aluminum control demos. Now, why do you follow them? Because their breakdowns are like free training. Crews can use these videos at the fab table with a tablet. Instructors can turn them into micro lessons. And trust me, there's a lot of instructors out there using YouTube as their training material. Even Q&A teams can benchmark weld profiles. Clean content, clear value. Go check them out. Squirt, why did you pick Pacific Arc TIG welding? Besides the fact that you love TIG.
And it's a TIG Tuesday. You know, I mean, we might as well throw some TIG out today.
It's Tequila Tuesday. You got it all right.
I know. TIG, it's one of my favorite welding types and styles and methods. It's clean. There's not a lot of stuff going on. It's not as much slag and stuff like stick rod. And it doesn't stick as bad, but let me tell you, if you do stick that filler rod, man, you got to heat it back up to get it to release, I promise. Something you'll learn if you ever want to start doing some TIG welding. But he's got some free online TIG welding classes. He's learned over 20 years of practice. He's got 231,000 subscribers, been doing this for 6 years, since 2019. Almost to the date. With over 28.5 million views. Doing good things here. Like I said, the thumbnails. Look at this. Look how beautiful that is. This is the one that intrigued me. TIG welding advanced aluminum techniques. And guys, we call this stacking dimes, walking the cup. It looks like a row of dimes just lined up, quarters, nickels. They all depends on the welder you're talking to and what kind of steps they do and how they walk their cup on what they want to call it. But a bunch of different tricks like this. He's using his phone for something here to actually check something for aluminum. And I think that's kind of neat because there's so many different ways you can use your phone nowadays and so many apps and stuff that they're making for it. We talked about checking ladder angle the other day. Is it safe or not? Different things you can do. But I really just love some of these thumbnails and how beautiful they look going through showing off the welding process. And if you are a welder, one of the first things that you know, what do we do when we go anywhere? If there's a weld that can be seen, we judge it. It's just what happens as part of it. But I think it's really cool, some of these, just going through instructional videos, teaching you tips, tricks, kind of test out some different machines, stuff like that. There's a lot to
Scroll back up just a hair. See that thumbnail right there, which is right?
Yep.
Make that bigger. And then don't hover over it.
Well, I can't.
Make your screen bigger. There you go. That way, now you can pull off of it if you can find it again.
Find it again, yeah.
Yeah, it went way over here.
Is.
Okay, so see, that's what he's talking about stacking dimes. See the way that it looks like there's just a lot of dimes laid out right there. The other one, maybe $50. But that's what it looks like. Mm-hmm.
So it's stacking two at the same time. Really cool to see some of the different techniques to go through. And that's one of the major things with welders is you want yours to look better than everybody else's. So you really do. It takes so much practice to get this type of skill down to where it actually looks very consistent. There's no change in all the steps that you're actually doing all the way around, no matter how far you go. That's why I like big pipe, because you really get to find out who the good welders are, because they have so far to go. You want us to talk about inconsistency? Make them weld a little further. You'll find some somewhere. But it's really cool just going through here and just learning, guys. Like TIG, there's so many ins and outs, back feeding wire, stuff like that, where you're feeding it from the inside because you stuck it through a keyhole of another part of the pipe. I do it on pipe a lot because, I mean, I'm a pipe fitter. Main thing I worked on was pipe. They say pipe's one of the most difficult things to weld on because it's round. All this stuff he's welding on, for the most part, square. It's angled at straight lines. He does some pipes, with mitering, things like that, which is really great also. See what we've got for the most popular. These welds were faked. So going out, busting some fake welds. I love seeing that. Some tips he wishes he knew back whenever he was beginning, stuff like that. That looks like it's just kind of a learning thing. I like that clear cut. That's pretty cool. Hadn't seen one of those myself. Used to the old pink solids. But I think it's really cool to go through and actually look at some of these and learn the different tricks. Why are they great? Here's how you can do it. Here's what you need to do to fix it. Your purge gas isn't set right. Your flows aren't right. Things like that. Go through and know all the little fine tweaks, because it really does change the color and stuff like that. Let's see how it all started. Back with the oldest real quick. TIG welded aluminum coin bank 5 years ago. I like it. Started doing some different things, building some different things, showing off what all you can do with TIG welding.
It's what it's all about.
Pretty cool.
Guys, go check it out. Pacific TIG Welding. You'll enjoy it. All right, best practices. Today's best practice is how to build a marketing engine. Even if you think you only work on referrals. If that's how you've grown your business, that's great. This will improve it. Start with your specialties. Pick 2 authority pillars that you own. Like for us, it was slab leak detection, whole house water filters, because leak detection and water quality is a big deal. Post every week. Do a short tip video. Do a before and after photo. Guys, those are great. And one customer story. Ask them, hey, did you notice the taste in your water is different? Use job site photos, tech bios, and before, during, and after shots in your posts, in your follow-ups, in your follow-throughs. Define your sales path. How do you get your lead? How do you dispatch it? How do you do the good, better, or best options? Do you have a 24-hour follow-up, a 5 to 7, and a 10 to 14-day follow-through? Use option sheets with monthly financing prices. That'll raise your average ticket right there. Reputation. Every time you win, send a 2-click review link. Respond to all reviews within 24 hours, and then repurpose the best ones into posts, ads, and on your website. For traffic, build local service area pages and publish at least 2 Google posts per week and do more if you don't have 150 of them up there yet. Track all your calls with campaign-specific numbers. That way you know what part of your marketing works. And then for retention, sell membership plans, safety checks, priority responses, limited seasonal tune-up slots to create an urgency. Then measure. What is your cost per lead? If you're doing stuff like this, your cost per lead is going to go down, but you've got to know your KPIs. So what all do you measure? You measure the cost per lead, the close rate by tech, ticket size, capacity booked, review speed. Put it on one dashboard, and now you've got a machine. And with residential service professionals, we've put together a system that will do all of that for you. And if you're not doing stuff like that, guys, if it's important, measure it. If it's not important, don't. But if you're not looking at your KPIs, if you're not looking at your numbers, you don't know what you're doing. If you don't track your hours on a job with your men, you don't. You have no idea. All right. Ting Ting says, good point. Having an end of the day 5-minute debriefing is better remembered than a 15-minute next morning debriefing. Yes. Yep. Concrete is always poured perfect. It's never off. Yeah, you think? I'm still looking for the concrete stretcher puller tool. Yeah. Yes. Ting Ting, keep looking. It's out there.
It's out there.
It's out there. It's in the truck. Go back.
It's hiding.
Guys, this video is sponsored by me. I teach people how to do YouTube, and I teach them how to do it because I got tired of getting ripped off by marketing companies. I want to figure out how to grow my business. How could I grow it without just throwing money at a marketing company? Because every time I talked to them, you know what they wanted? More money every single time. And now that I'm doing what I'm doing and have tools, I look at stuff and it's like most of these marketing companies, when you first hire them, they'll go in and do a lot of stuff to your website. And that's the last time they see it. And guys, I hate to tell you, but it's true. If you want to learn how to do what we do, it all started with YouTube. And it started just over 7 years ago. And it started because I walked into a conference. I walked into a conference and figured out how to get in front of my customers. Whenever I got back home, I talked to my team and said, look, we're changing the way we do our marketing. We're changing it now. We're going to start doing YouTube. Now, they thought I was crazy. Most of them still do. But it worked. And we started growing. Our business started growing, started scaling. And then we decided, look, we're growing on YouTube. We're growing on social media. We can teach tradespeople how to grow their businesses. We can teach anybody how to grow their businesses. So if you would like to learn more about how to grow your brand, your business, go to justmattroger.com. It's a free webinar, and it starts with YouTube. And if you think YouTube's the problem, it's not. It's that voice inside your head telling you that. Go to justmattroger.com, check it out, and come back and let me know what you think.
And everybody, we'd like to thank LeakPro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks. They let us come in here and talk trades for an hour each and every Monday through Friday, except for major holidays.
Like next Monday.
Like next Monday, Labor Day, for all you wonderful labor people out there. I love it. Labor Day was one of my favorite holidays, always through the trades. But at LeakPro, we build the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. When I say system, guys, I always suggest checking out the complete kit at our website, leak.pro. It comes with both pieces of equipment that we build, but more or less, it's a business in a box. It has everything so that you can be a one-person operation to actually go out and locate leaks yourself. If you don't know how to do it, though, give me a call, because I offer a 2-day in-person training where I will go through and run you through this slab out here. I'll create 30 to 50 leak locations for you that you can run through in those 2 days. But we'll also teach you how to locate on a sewer system, all from the double clean out outside of the house. So give me a call about the training, or we can talk about the equipment. Give me a call, 1-8888-LEAK-PRO. I'd be happy to discuss it with you.
Guys, the training's phenomenal. And if you're the owner or the general manager and you're like, look, we've still got to figure out how to make the phone ring, we can teach you that too. You've got to get found for slab leaks and leak detection in your area. And that's something we figured out. Guys, it's Tequila Tuesday. Be careful out there.
Yeah, Tick Tuesday's over. It's Tequila Tuesday now, baby.
Keep your people safe. Whatever you do out there today, do it safe, but have fun.
Everybody, happy freaking Tuesday. Hope to see you here tomorrow for a Whiskey Wednesday. Get out there, hit it effing hard, guys. You know we will. See you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.